Alright, there we go. Let me make sure that's working fine. I don't know what happened there. Alright, there we go. Let me make sure that's working fine. I don't know what happened there. Alright, so let me get a couple things settled here. Alright, there we go. Alright, so talking about God of War and its crazy ass reviews, 10 out of 10s. First off, I don't really believe any game is a true 10 out of 10. I think people that claim games are 10 out of 10s, I think they're a little bit stretching everything. I will say that I wasn't a big fan of this God of War up until now. I am seeing what they're playing, and I like what I see. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I like what I see. I think this God of War can do something. We'll see. It comes out next Friday. I actually have the whole weekend off. Right now, I'm actually in the process to trying to get the Saturday that I work. So I have 6 days to play this game. Apparently, people are already trying to get Kid Smooth to play it on the hardest difficulty for a challenge. Go figure. So, you know, we're about to see good stuff, man. We're about to see good stuff. One thing I want to do is I'm enjoying what I enjoy about what I see about God of War right now is the gameplay mechanics seem to be a lot more flushed out than I thought they were going to be. For some reason, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I thought the gameplay mechanics were going to be not trash, but it didn't seem like it was going to be a God of War game. It does seem brutal. It seems very gory. That's what God of War was. I didn't really get a whole lot of perspective when it comes to... I want to know exactly when it comes to where this game is in that universe. This is a... I don't know. I'm starting to go towards like maybe... I always had the perspective that they were going to... You know, they're going to like forecast what happened with Kratos in the past. But it's not looking like that case. It's looking like... You know, this dude is generally just someone who's different. You know, I don't think this has anything connection to whatsoever to what happened in the past with God of War. We'll have to see when the game comes out, see if there's any kind of perspective that you can't see unless that you wouldn't know unless you actually played the game. But you know, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. You know, it's not a coincidence how good this game's doing. There's no denying that. This game is doing very well. I'm going to bring up the God of War Metacritic real quick. Well, not medicine. I don't have no clue what that is. But, like again, I do think this is getting a little bit of a padding because it is God of War. People miss me when they say that's not any kind of... you know, that's not a possibility. I think people are lying to themselves when they say that. Nothing taken away from this game, but there's been very few games that I think are that high. Like, I don't think all these people that's giving this a 10 out of 10, so we'll go over here and bring this over here real quick. I don't think these games... I don't even know why that's happening. I just don't believe a game is a 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. Like... You guys can get mad all you want. The game's good. You know, clearly, you know, especially PlayStation, they've been killing it this whole generation with games. Attack on Titan's a 7.5? That's weird. I thought that game was going to get worse than that. But, you know, looking at this, I can understand why people are excited. I was going to wait on this game. I wasn't going to even look at this game until the game actually, you know, until I saw it all out. I'm thinking about playing this day one. I'm going to stream it too. I might stream it on the hardest difficulty first. Because for some reason, you bitches like that shit for some reason. Like seeing people struggle. I mean, Polygon, 10 out of 10. What's up, Master Chief? US Gamer, 10. Guardian, 10. Telegraph, 10. Games, 10. DualShockers, 10. Like... I'm sorry, I don't believe in that. Like, stating that it's a 10 out of 10 is pretty much stating that there's no flaws in the game. I don't think that you can't tell me any game that has no flaws. Like, it doesn't take away from the game. The game is still amazing. But anyone that gives anything a 10, look at this. IGN 10, Destructoid 10, Game Informer, we're starting to get to below the 9s. You know, the game does exactly what it was supposed to. I think every game is a 9.5 that everyone thinks is a 10. Even one of my all-time favorite games, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, that's not a 10. And I enjoyed the hell out of that game. I think it's a joke giving games 10s. Like, I really do. I think that's pathetic. You know, this game doesn't go below a 9. All these outlets giving it a 10, that's great. But I think that, you know, for the most part, there's a lot of 8s. There's some hating bitches, man. Attack of the Fanboy gave it a 9. We'll have to see. You know, I'd love to be able to play the game. I have to wait till next Friday. That's one of the issues with this coming out so early. You know, it doesn't come out till next Friday. Is now I'm fiending the game. I want to actually play it. I still a little bit unsure how I feel about, you know, the direction that they made this game go into, where you can't actually, you know, attack stuff like you would a normal God of War. I did see that troll. There was a troll that I saw on YouTube that it was a boss. And then they fought a similar troll at the beginning. And it seemed like it was the exact same killing animations. Which, you know, a lot of God of Wars, the original ones had the exact same killing animation. Is there two? Is that another IGN? Like the same IGN? Did they review the game? What? They reviewed the game twice? I'm pretty sure they reviewed it, but IGN reviewed it up here. Where's IGN? Yeah, IGN. Why is there 2 reviews from an IGN outlet? I'm confused. Hold up. Can a website review a game twice like that? And put it on Metacritic? Is it literally the same website? Maybe it's the Spanish version? It looks like it. I bet you they're in the same building, though. I mean, it's whatever. They can do what they want. I mean, there's no denying it. This game's good. I don't think it's the UK version, man. It looks like a Spanish version. I don't know. I do not speak any other language. I barely speak the language I speak. So, I don't know what that looked like Spanish. Man, I don't think it was Greek or anything like that. Then again, I couldn't even tell you. Not even a little bit. But, you know, I really like to give this game its props. You know, as much as I thought this game, I didn't think this game would flop by any means, but I didn't know how people would react to it, considering it wasn't, you know, your standard God of War. I'm really starting to think that Sony knows how to get them out. Doesn't mean it's perfect. It means the game's set up and stands for that type of game. No, I feel like a 10 out of 10 is the definition of saying a game's perfect, Mighty Mouse. That's just me. I really feel like stating a game has a 10 out of 10 is stating that it was so good you couldn't find anything negative about it. You know, maybe a 9.5 would be like giving that 0.5 as in your expectations. But, you know, maybe there's nothing wrong with this game in general. Maybe there's literally nothing you can nitpick about this game. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. You know, Elder Scrolls, they gave that I don't know. What did they give Skyrim? I can't remember. Let's see. This shit's been reviewed like a dozen times. The 360, they gave it a 9.6. Well, 9.6. And I thought this was an amazing game. One of the best games I've ever played. Look, 10's, 9.6. So, I mean, it got great scores. And you couldn't give this game a 10. The game was buggy as fuck. Compared to its predecessor, some of the systems didn't work the way I would have liked it to have. And it was a great game, but it was not no 10 out of 10. And trust me, I'm a fanboy of this damn game. I played a shit ton of this game. Same thing, let's talk about, what was another good game that, what did Red Dead do? Why do, never mind. I'm not going to even, yeah, but Fun Factory, yeah. It's cool, but I'm just saying, man, can we at least agree that saying something is a 10 out of 10 is implying perfection? Can we not come to good standards and, you know, get a good middle ground and agree to that? I'm just curious. Like, I don't understand how a game is a 10 out of 10. Kind of missed me on that just a little bit. I mean, maybe to them people it was a 10 out of 10. I just feel like giving something a 10 out of 10 is saying there was nothing wrong with the game the whole time they played it. What do you guys think? I'm curious. Give me 1 second. Someone's... Alright, so, let me do this real quick. I'm going to send this link to a couple people, too. I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be streaming it. I'm actually in the middle right now of making some... I'm making some thumbnails for the game. I don't know what I'm going to use. Now, normally I try to stay away from multiple different thumbnails. Usually with these Dark Soul games, I'm going to try to make, you know, multiple thumbnails for every boss. There's always fun in games, but the games can be fun and you look past the flaws, giving it a 10. I mean, I get that, but I feel like a 10, like, especially if you're at the highest point of that denominator when it comes to that scaling system, like, maybe you can give a game a 10 out of 10. I don't even think Zelda had a lot of issues. Zelda was a good 9 out of 10. It was not even close to a 10 out of 10. I'm super gutted, but I think Spider-Man took that spot. I don't know about Spider-Man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Spider-Man comes out, what, September-ish? Maybe October? I can't remember. I mean, I got a PlayStation, so obviously you guys know I'm going to be streaming it. I'm probably going to stream Spider-Man 2. We'll have to see. But I know I'm going to stream God of War. I'm off all that night for God of War. It's a good game. And it's like Kid Smooth said, I don't see people... I don't see the damage controlling that people are claiming. I don't see that. Someone's going to have to, like, link me tweets or something of people that I would be relevant enough to say they're damage controlling. Don't send me tweets of people that... You know, clearly we know that they're going to damage control. Like, that's the part that kills me about this community. People that we know for a fact 100% is going to damage control something like God of War, they'll take them and use it to symbolize the entire Xbox community damage controlling. We know Crap Gamer and Mooch are going to damage control God of War. We know that that's going to happen. Just like if, you know, a Fire game came out, we know that Jabari is going to be on Twitter damage controlling that. That does not mean the whole community's doing it. So you guys missed me on that one too. Let's see what else here. We're going to see, man. I ain't going to sit here. I ain't going to tell you guys the game's bad. I'm not going to tell you. The game has to at least be average to above average to get this kind of publicity. Normally I tell people not to, you know, take what other people's opinion is in a game. But if you're having 100+ people say the game's awesome, saying the game's fantastic, there's no way the game could be bad. And anyone on Twitter saying the game's bad, I mean, you know, it's not facts because it is subjective. Because everyone's taste in games are different. But you got to look at the majority of the minority. If the majority of a consumer likes a game, you can't say the game's bad because some of the minority don't. It's just not for them. But you know, Addict Spotlight, that's gonna be at 5. I just felt like I don't understand why people are calling this game a 10 out of 10. It blows my mind, kid. I don't see how any game could be a 10 out of 10. Look at that, man. They are hardcore pushing this extinction game. Hardcore. Anyone that ain't seen me, mine and kids review of this game, look, it's a worth of play, but not for 60. And look what happens when I click this button right here. They're gonna take me straight to the website. Let's see what. Oh, they're gonna ask for my birthday. People about to know when I was born. 12, 17. We'll just say 93. I was born in the 90s. I ain't gonna tell you what year it was, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Watch trailer. Go to buy now. Physical. We'll go to like GameStop. We'll go to GameStop. Let's see what GameStop's trying to get this for. $60. Not worth it, you guys. Not worth it. Tell me, okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I didn't make the fun factor and experience. Destiny 1 was a 1 out of 10. And my 1 was a 10. Destiny was a good game, but it still wasn't a 10. It had its flaws. Just the story alone made that a 9. Even if you enjoyed that game to the fullest, just the story by itself would make that a 9. But tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think this is a 10 out of 10? Do you guys think that the reviewing system could be flawed when it comes to stuff out of that? Especially when it comes to Metacritic. I don't know why people put so much hype into Metacritic. These are the same people that will say this game doesn't look like it deserves. A game isn't. What's the word I'm looking for? People will trash a game like crazy, and then they will trash this website, Metacritic, and then use it 6 months later to hype a game that they like. And that's just facts. The same people that's using this Metacritic. What's up, you guys? Planet Xbox in the building. The same people using Metacritic right now to scold people and make fun of people and talk trash are going to be the same people using this website right now to damage control shit in the future. And that's just facts. This website is people saving grace one day, and tomorrow it's their doom and glory the next. See, what's up, 3MG? Like, what I was saying this whole point, 3MG, is people are giving God of War a 10 out of 10. It's not even really, designated on God of War itself. I don't believe games deserve a 10 out of 10 at all. I don't think any game's a 10 out of 10. I think there's always flaws in a game, and people that give games 10 out of 10s, it's just foolish. But, it's like I said, it's subjective. Reviews are subjective. All these people had a different perspective in this game, but I don't think a 10 out of 10 at all, is it? I don't pick and choose one Metacritic. I don't agree picking and choosing one. Yeah, it's whatever though, man. People do like to use Metacritic when they can. Some gamers are 5-star games. You guys really think that there can be a 10 out of 10 game? Like, I don't get that. What is the highest games that's ever been played? All games. What's the highest scores in history? There's got to be a way to look. Nah, there's not I don't see. I can't agree with that. I don't think there's a 10 out of 10. I just don't. Metacritic's sitting at a 6.8. That's bad. That's really bad. What's up next? Oh, can you? Well, that's because people can still rate it a 10. Just because they don't think it's a 10, people can still rate it as a 10. And it's like I said, the whole debate is kind of subjective, because for one's 10 could be my 6. PS4, can you do like all time? $8.4. I mean, it's what it is. That's just my personal opinion. I always thought that giving a game a 10 out of 10 was kind of weird. But, people like games, and if games get 10 out of 10, then it's whatever. Time since we uploaded tonight. I appreciate that, Master Chief. Talking about Planet Xbox, definitely appreciate that. The combat looks good, but the gameplay I've seen is just throwing a bunch of axes. But I did see a couple different special moves. So I do hope that, you know, that works better. And just the streamer that I particularly saw play God of War didn't just keep spamming the axe move. I hope there's a lot of variety when it comes to combat, which it does look like. It's got a fucking skill system, for God's sake. It's got to be. There's no way it's not. And I definitely looking forward to playing it. We'll have to see how that goes. I had a feeling they're going to give this game a 10 out of 10. Didn't even play Horizon. 10 out of 9. I played that game and it's an 8.5. I do feel like that some PlayStation games do get a pass when it comes to. No, a 10 out of 10. It literally, man, like, I just don't get that. Like, you guys are trying to damage control a scoring system. I don't get it. Like, a 10 out of 10 to me feels like it's perfection. There's nothing wrong with it. The game was good on all points. Link to the Past was a 10, so was I see, but that's what I said, Frog. It's subjective. To every person, it's different. I didn't give two fucks about Zelda Link to the Past. It was a good game, but that wasn't a 10 to me. Super Mario World was definitely not a 10 to me. Breath of the Wild was an amazing game, but it was a 9 to me. Skyrim was an amazing game to me, but it was a 9 to me. In order to get that other one, I had to play that whole game and couldn't find one negative thing that I can nitpick in that whole game. I don't go what other people. And see, that's my point too. Next is, people will sit there and they will use Metacritic as a tool one day, and then next day they talking shit about it because they didn't give it to them. But it's whatever. I'm glad the games doing well. I hope this means that, you know, God of War itself will do good. Because God of War has always been a fantastic franchise, and I think it deserves to be where it used to be. Because it used to be one of Sony's highlighting horses, man. It used to get it a lot. Play the game first, you might love it and agree with the 10s. Now, I'll play it, but I don't think I'm going to agree with the 10s. You know, even if the game's fantastic, I'm never going to give it a 10. Never. Like, I don't think there's been very few games that I've even considered remotely putting it on 10. I think they overhyping this type, and I don't even think it's a 10, and I'm a huge fan of God of War. You didn't play the game yet. I mean, it's like I told you, I don't think it's going to get a 10. It might get a 9. My 9 is pretty much your guys' 10, because, you know, when I see a 10 out of 10 grading scale like that, I expect, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is pretty much trash. 6 is great. 7 is, you know, no, 6 would be like an average game. 7's a great game. 8, 9 is an amazing game, and a 10 is a perfect game. That's a good point, 3MG. That's one thing that Microsoft is completely lacking, that, you know, that Sony realized. I think when Sony made The Last of Us, and how good The Last of Us did, and how good story-orientated it was built around, they realized that that's the way they need to go. They need to make games based off of a story-orientated, and they need to run with that. And ever since they started doing that, and I call it the Last of Us effect, that these games have been really made towards a Last of Us effect, where it's built around a story, you know, with that character development, they have been flourishing since. And I would probably have to say the game that really picked up, that made them get this successful, was Uncharted, because it opened the doors to them to a lot of things. And I don't even fuck with Uncharted like that. To be honest with you, I think that whole franchise is kind of trash. But, you know, I'm going to play more of it, because I only played the first one. I didn't really play the second, third, and fourth one. And I've been told the game's good after the second on. I've been told by a lot of people the first one's kind of trash. Oh, God, Frog. But, you know, I'm going to go and end this, because in 30 minutes... no. Actually, people have been wanting to get me to do that, Master. I think I'm going to have to stay away from that shit. But I appreciate everyone for coming by. I got an Addict Spotlight in 30 minutes with Kid Smooth on Bloodborne and Dream God on Bloodborne. We're going to get that taken care of. Yeah, definitely, man. But, I appreciate everyone for coming out. 3MG, all of them. Hold on, let me get some of these people. I don't have a whole lot of moderators in my streams because I don't give a fuck what people say. They might trigger me, but I don't really be flipping out like to the extreme. I'm lying. I definitely flip out sometimes, but that's my given right. I'm allowed to if I want to. If I want to flip the fuck out because Lugway killed me 8 times in a row because he's jumping up like a fucking Magikarp, I will do that. Because this is my domain. This is where I'm allowed to talk shit. Alright, man. I'm out of here. Peace.